Our top story tonight focuses on the ongoing war in Ukraine, where Russian forces have recently seized the town of Vuhledar after 2 years of intense fighting. This strategic location is not only built around a coal mine, but also sits at a crucial intersection between Ukraine's eastern and southern fronts. Analysts suggest that control of Vuhledar could allow Russian forces to reinforce their positions and facilitate further advances into the Donetsk region. The battle for Vuhledar has been particularly fierce, with heavy casualties reported on both sides. Ukrainian military officials have indicated that they are regrouping and plan to launch counter-offensives to reclaim lost territories. As winter approaches, the harsh weather conditions may further complicate military operations. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, with NATO member countries reaffirming their support for Ukraine. The United States and its allies are considering additional military aid, which could include advanced weaponry and logistical support, as tensions escalate in the region.
In the United States, a federal judge in Washington, D.C. has released a detailed account of the conspiracy case against former President Donald Trump regarding the 2020 election. Special counsel Jack Smith's narrative paints a picture of a coordinated effort to undermine democratic processes. The document outlines various alleged actions by Trump, including pressuring state officials to falsify election results and organizing rallies that propagated false claims of electoral fraud. Notably, Trump's involvement in the January 6th Capitol riot is highlighted as a culmination of these efforts. Legal analysts suggest that this extensive documentation could significantly bolster the prosecution's case. As Trump continues to campaign for the 2024 presidential election, his legal challenges are becoming increasingly intertwined with his political ambitions. Observers are divided on how this will affect his base, with some supporters remaining steadfast while others express concern over the implications of the ongoing investigations.
Segment 3. Historic inauguration in Mexico. In a momentous occasion for Mexican politics, Claudia Sheinbaum was inaugurated as the first female president of Mexico. The ceremony, held on Tuesday in Mexico City, drew thousands of supporters who celebrated her historic victory. As the first woman to hold the highest office in the country, Sheinbaum's inauguration symbolizes a significant shift in a traditionally male-dominated political landscape. In her inaugural address, Sheinbaum emphasized her commitment to social justice, environmental sustainability, and combating corruption. She outlined her vision for a Mexico that prioritizes education, healthcare, and equitable economic growth. Her administration is expected to focus on policies that address climate change, as Sheinbaum has a strong background in environmental science. Political analysts predict that her presidency will be closely watched both domestically and internationally, particularly as she navigates complex relationships with the United States and other Latin American countries.
Segment 4. Rosh Hashanah celebrations. As we shift our focus to cultural observances, Jewish families around the world are preparing to celebrate Rosh Hashanah, which this year falls in September, marking the beginning of the year 5785 on the lunisolar Hebrew calendar. Rosh Hashanah is a time for reflection and renewal, and traditions vary across different communities. Key practices include the blowing of the shofar, a ritual horn that is sounded to call the faithful to prayer, and the sharing of festive meals featuring symbolic foods. Common items include apples dipped in honey, representing the wish for a sweet new year, and round challah bread, symbolizing the cycle of the year. Communities also engage in the practice of tashlik, where individuals cast away their sins by tossing pieces of bread into a body of water. This year, many synagogues are also incorporating themes of social responsibility and community service into their celebrations, encouraging members to reflect not only on personal growth, but also on their contributions to society.
That concludes our coverage of today's top stories. Stay tuned for more updates and detailed analysis in our later segments. Thank you for joining us, and good night.